Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am very excited to share with you my complete Star Wars collection. Hey guys, welcome back. Like I said, I just want to share with you my complete Star Wars movie collection. Now, you may have seen on this channel me talking about some of my favorite films of all time, and my favorite movie of all time is Empire Strikes Back. And so, over the years, I've just collected a ton of different versions and different editions of Star Wars. I would say it's probably it is my favorite film series of all time, and so I absolutely just love the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. And I made a whole video explaining why I am kind of not really interested in anything Disney related Star Wars. So if you are curious, I think I made that like a year ago today actually. So yeah, happy May 4th, Star Wars Day. And so I've had a few people ask about showing you my complete Star Wars movie collection. I made a video once talking about my sci-fi films, but within that video you did not see any Star Wars because I have, in my movie room, I have a specific section dedicated just to my Star Wars films. And so I'm just going to go around. I have everything currently laid out on the floor around me, and so I'm just going to kind of go around and show you what I have. There are, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 different formats of films here. And so yeah, I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm not going to do any Star Wars video games because I talked about all the different video games I have in a separate video, and so I figured I'd just leave that as its own thing. But I will talk about the different pieces of music that I have for Star Wars. I have a very small collection of CDs here, of Star Wars CDs and some Star Wars vinyl, and so I'm just going to jump right into those. But I have the original soundtrack to Empire Strikes Back, which is just kind of fun because the artwork on the back I absolutely love. And then I have Episode 1. I remember I got these from the library way back in the day. I would get these Star Wars CDs and just listen to them on vacations and stuff. But it's Revenge of the Sith. And then I found these at Goodwill, which I absolutely love. These are just, I guess, the original soundtracks, but they're in these really cool, I guess just show A New Hope first. In these really cool, cases that, open up, and they have, a little booklet. I'm not going to show through the entire booklet, but each CD is kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to tell or not with the reflection, but each one, maybe, it's kind of like a Death Star, so it's kind of a cool addition of the soundtracks. So we have A New Hope, Empire, and I think this is the same thing on all of them. They might have different symbols on the CDs, and then just Return of the Jedi. So I think these look really cool on a shelf, especially because of the uniformity of them. There we go. So those are all the CDs that I have. I have a few vinyl here, nothing crazy. These are like storybooks, I guess. You pop the vinyl in and read along as it plays, but I have this one, and these are just the smaller vinyl. And then this is the story. This is, yeah, the story from the original film, I'm assuming. I think this is still brand new. This one, I bought all of these at a antique store once. I absolutely just love the artworks on these though. I think they're really cool. And then this is a I think this is not a, yeah, this is not like what's it, like an official release of the music from Star Wars, but I have this vinyl. Then I have this one, which is brand new. This is just the, I guess, the music from the show, or from the movies, which I think I love the artwork on this as well. And again, I don't really, like I've talked about this before, I don't really collect vinyl, but when it comes to Star Wars vinyl, I don't know, it's just kind of cool to have. And this one has other stuff on here too, not just from, I mean, it has 2001: A Space Odyssey stuff, but, and then this is just the story of Return of the Jedi. So it's kind of fun stuff. Now moving on to the VHS tapes that I have, there was a point in life where I was basically buying any copy of Star Wars that I came across on VHS, regardless if I had it or not. Especially, this is still when Goodwill's like regularly carried VHS, and so I feel like now it's kind of more rare to come across like VHS tapes at a Goodwill, but I would be buying up, I mean, at one point I had like, I don't know, like 30 copies of Empire Strikes Back and stuff like that. Just a ton of copies. Since then, I got rid of all of those and basically kept one of each style of VHS. So I'll go over these first, but just the first film. Empire and Return of the Jedi. Now, one thing to note on these next ones, they look almost identical to each one, but there's one very small, just little difference on the spines. You can see there's Darth Vader here and there's no Darth Vader here, and then there is different back artwork. So compare it to here's these two, and also this is a CBS Fox versus the Fox Home Video logo up here, and then there's a different, there's like Yoda and no Yoda, and then on the back it's slightly different as well. And same thing with Return. So it is kind of ironic that I'm making this video after I talked about decluttering my, or curating my collection. But I don't know, I love Star Wars. I love collecting the different artworks. It's one of the very, it's one of the few collections or series of films that I will go out of my way to purchase every single different artwork variation for. And then I have here just a couple random things. I have a widescreen edition of Episode 1 on VHS. And then the standard edition of Episode 1. When I was first getting into collecting different artwork variations of Star Wars, I had a very hard time coming across a copy of Episode 2 on VHS. But apparently I have here 2 copies of Episode 2. These are the exact same thing. And not really sure why I have 2 copies, but I do. And then I have here one brand new sealed copy of Episode 2, which is kind of fun. And then I have here, this is the making of Star Wars, just like a documentary going over making the film, which is kind of fun. And this is kind of a recent addition to the collection, but this is From Star Wars to Jedi, the making of the saga. And so just kind of a fun documentary. I have not had a chance to watch this yet, but this one does come with like art cards, which is kind of fun. So I don't know, I'm anxious to pop that in and check it out. And then I have some of the spin-off films. This is the animated classics, Droids. So Star Wars did these animated, rough animation for the films, And so just like an adventure of droids, and then this is an Ewoks version. So I have those. And then the last ones that I have for the individual releases, I have here the first film. I have these in like these cool like protective cases because I just think these look like the most vintagey out of all of the different editions I have. And I absolutely just love these. And then Empire Strikes Back. And Return of the Jedi. Maybe if it'll focus. And then I have, I guess I'll throw this in here, but this is my one and only beta tape. So this is Star Wars on beta. And so it has, you know, not VHS, but a beta tape. So it's kind of a fun thing that I found. I think I got this actually at a Goodwill. And you can tell it has the little beta sticker on the side. But that is all I have for my individual releases of the films on VHS. But now I'm going to jump into the box sets that I have. So jumping into the box sets, this one everybody had, I feel like, in their collection. And it's just this box set. And yeah, I feel like it was just a very, very common set. But I took the films out to show those. So this is episode 4, 5, and 6. So they're just like fun artwork variations. The next one I have, this is also a fairly common box set, but this is the widescreen version of the films. This is the Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition. So it just has all 3 films in here. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, like open them up, because this video is already going to be fairly long, but this is just the Star Wars Trilogy. I absolutely love the artwork on this. This is one of my first box sets that I got, and I will take the sleeve off, but you have the films in there, and you have this cool artwork all the way around, which is just a lot of fun if it'll focus. So I absolutely just love this set. But then I have pretty much the exact same set, but this is the widescreen edition of it. And I think it's just very similar artwork all the way around, but they're just the widescreen versions of the films. And then I have, this is just the standard, so this is not widescreen, this is just full screen of the special edition trilogy. So same thing, it's just gold instead of silver. And I actually have 2 of these. I have one that is brand new factory sealed. And something really cool with these, I feel like if you put them together, you get this like cool image of Darth Vader. So that's how I have them on my shelf. And the last of these types of trilogies I have here, this is just the trilogy. I really want to find this, but in like better condition. Mine is a little beat up, so it'd be nice to come across one. But this one, it does have cool packaging. It kind of has this whole thing. It has the artwork from the first individual releases that I was showing off. And then these flaps actually like fold out, and they have a bunch of text all over it. So yeah, just a really cool set. I actually really like this one. Then I have only 2 more VHS box sets. This is just a widescreen collector's edition of The Phantom Menace. And in here it just comes with a, if I can open it, it has this cool artwork on it. And it just has like a booklet here. It's actually a pretty big booklet. And it has like a strip of the 35mm film and just a widescreen copy of the movie in there. So maybe if I can show without dropping everything. Which I really miss when movies had these like really nice editions of the movie. I mean, I guess we have some stuff today, but this is like, it's so nice. It looks so nice on a shelf. I wish we could get like editions like this where it comes with a ton of like like extra stuff. I know boutique stuff kind of does that, but it doesn't feel the same. And then I have here, this is the widescreen edition of the trilogy. It's just a bigger box, and on the back it has some text. Then you open it up and you just have the widescreen version of the film sitting in here. So I love this box as well. I feel like it also looks really nice on a shelf. Now moving on to my Laserdisc collection for Star Wars. The first one here is just the first film on Laserdisc. And then, let's see, I have a lot of different versions of the movie, so bear with me. This is just another different artwork variation of the movie. And finally I have here, this is the special widescreen edition of the film. This one looks like it had some water damage to it. So when you open it up, you can kind of see it has some stuff that this got stuck together from water damage, and it kind of ripped apart. So someday I'd like to replace this to make it not as beat up. And even on the back, you can kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, but there's a little bit of water damage on that one. And then I have Empire Strikes Back. And this is a special widescreen edition. And this one just opens up. And I have this edition as well of Empire Strikes Back. And this one opens up as well. It has the artwork on the back. And then finally, Return of the Jedi. And this edition of Return of the Jedi. So those are all my individual releases of the films. I do have this box set. I will mention though that there was a Japanese Laserdisc of episode 1 that I would love to add to my collection someday. Along with, there were a couple different box sets that they made for Laserdisc. I only have this one, actually a pretty solid box set, but they made a couple different versions of these that I would love to add to the Laserdisc collection, because I love collecting Laserdiscs. But this one is a very heavy set, but it is the trilogy, and it has all 3 films in it, and it opens up like so, and inside you get all 3 films, and then there's this giant, like, let me see if I can pull it out, this hardcover book that is, let's see how many pages, 207 pages long. So it is actually, it's very impressive that this is even like a part of a box set like this. Then it also comes with this, which is more of a smaller booklet that just has some stuff about the films. But yeah, it is, this is definitely, if you are a collector of Star Wars stuff, I would highly recommend getting a copy of this box set, because it's so cool. Even if you don't have a Laserdisc player, I feel like this is just something really cool to have within your collection. I'm not going to open up each individual one, but yeah, this is one of my favorite boxes that I have, and I absolutely just love it. But it looks so good on a shelf. And then moving on to my CED collection for Star Wars. Now apparently I have 3 different versions, or 3 different copies of the first film on CED. Not really sure why. I feel like they're just ones that I've come across over the years. And this one has a Han Solo sticker on it. but... And then I have here a couple copies of Empire Strikes Back. And those, because I know with CED, some films you have to have 2 discs, but these I've already checked, these you only need 1 disc. And so I just have 2 copies of Empire Strikes Back. However, I do have, here's part 1 and part 2 of Return of the Jedi. So this is part 1. You can tell in the corner here it says part 1. And then part 2. And then this is just Return of the Jedi in the white case instead of the blue outer plastic case. This is just in the white case, but part 1 and part 2. And then moving on to probably one of the more weird things that I have within my collection. Honestly, these are some of my favorite items that I even have within this whole room. I absolutely love these. I think they're so cool. But these are, this is Star Wars on Super 8mm film. So this is just a couple scenes from Star Wars on this tiny little reel. And yeah, it's not, I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and watch this particular one, but it's on just like its tiny little reel. But I have got a chance to watch this. I watched this with a friend a few years back. I set up my projector on against the garage door outside, and we just sat back and watched. This is 17 minutes of Star Wars, and it was just kind of a lot of fun to do. But this is one of my favorite items that I have within my collection. I bought this off eBay several years ago, and it's such a cool thing that I have. I absolutely love it. But I think this was actually last year, I purchased someone's film collection, and this was part of it. And I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and watch this, but this is also 17 minutes of Star Wars. It could honestly be the exact same thing as this. I have no idea. But it's this right here. And I've showed this off in that video before, but I just thought this is really cool. And so I absolutely just love having, film of Star Wars. It's such a fun thing that I have within my collection. Someday the dream is to have a complete Star Wars film. It would be amazing to have a 35mm print of Empire Strikes Back. I know that's going to probably cost more than the entire movie room put together, but it'd be really, it'd be cool to have, and I would love to have that someday, or something like that. Maybe even a 16mm print or something. But for now, I have those 3 8mm or Super 8mm films. And then moving on to my DVD box sets. I have a few different ones here. But this is just a full screen version of The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones in this double pack on DVD. And these are just the editions that, everybody had growing up. So it's just in this fun little double pack. I remember coming across this at Goodwill many, many years ago. And then I have, this is just the prequel trilogy. I know for a while these were out of print. These particular boxes, and I know they were kind of going for a decent amount, but it's just they come in these thin little cases. But I have these, and of course I have the regular trilogy here in the same format, or the same type of set. And I've talked about this before on this channel, but this is one of the first items that I ever had within my movie collection. And this is kind of, in a way, kind of got me started into collecting. So this is one of my most prized possessions within this room that it's not really worth anything, but to me it's worth a ton. And that is the Star Wars trilogy. This is the full screen version on DVD. I absolutely just love this set. This was my first box set, my first copies of Star Wars, honestly some of my first DVDs even. And so I will forever cherish these. I've watched them so many times, and the box is a little beat up. I don't know if you'll be able to catch it on camera, but up here it's a little beat up, and on the side it's starting to, you know, get a little torn up. But I absolutely love this box set. And I have the exact same thing, but for a widescreen edition, and that's just the silver. So they kind of kept along with the same type of thing with the gold and silver full screen, widescreen thing, even with the VHS days. So I have both of these. Absolutely just love these. I think they're so cool. And then I have here, this is a Japanese version, Japanese box set of the films. It says Star Wars Trilogy on the front, but it's actually all 6 movies. And I have no idea what region these are even in, but I just think this set is so cool. It's all in Japanese writing. And I love the artwork of this. I think it's so cool. And then inside, you just have each movie. Let's see, I can actually take these out. You have like this artwork on the inside, and then you have each film in these I don't know, sleeves. And there's Japanese writing all over the discs on these. But yeah, so episodes 1 through 6, in these cool, this little plastic sleeve thing. So this is another cool, like, just random item that I have. I feel like I bought this off Facebook in like a lot of films, but, and then I have here, honestly, in my opinion, one of, if not the greatest Star Wars show out there. And that is Star Wars The Clone Wars Seasons 1 through 5. I would love to get this on Blu-ray someday. This is just the DVD. But again, this is just a great collector's edition of the show. It comes with like booklets, and it has, you know, this type of stuff. It has all the seasons in there. So I remember just watching through this whole series, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love this box. But highly, highly recommend checking out the Clone Wars if you have not got a chance. And then I have, these are some Star Wars like spoof movies. So this is stuff that, you know, is directly supposed to be like trying to rip off Star Wars. I have the Robot Chicken films. So here's the first one. And I just keep these with the Star Wars movies just because, like, I feel like they fit there still. The second film, and the third film. Then I have, of course, you can't go wrong with Spaceballs, Fanboys, and the Family Guy series. So this is the first 2 Family Guy spin-offs, I guess. But I used to be more into Family Guy. I feel like over the years I don't know. I don't find it as funny as I used to, and this is just the last film. But yeah, so those are all my spin-off Star Wars movies. And then jumping into my individual releases of the films on DVD. So I will show this one off first. This is the full screen version of Revenge of the Sith. This was right when the film came out. Actually, if it's still in here. When I was very young, this is like when the movie came out. When I was young, actually, I made a note when I bought this film. This was November 17th, I bought it, which was a Thursday. Came out on Tuesday, but I think that was 2006 or 2005. It's either 2005 or 2006, but I made the little note here because I wrote 2005-2006, but I think as that young, I didn't know what I was doing. But I've watched this film so many times. This particular disc, it kind of goes along with my other box set that I was talking about. It's one of those items in my collection that I really just like cherish, because I remember getting this and being very excited about it, and just, you know, watching it over and over and over. This was the only Star Wars film that I saw in theaters out of the original series, and so this one always holds like a special spot in my heart. But and then I have here, these are the widescreen editions of Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. And then these are also the widescreen limited editions of A New Hope. And so I remember when these got re-released into the stores, and then at a point these were actually going for like a decent amount of money as well. I don't really understand when random like editions just spike in value, but Empire Strikes Back, I think since then they've come down. But and then this is the Return of the Jedi. And then just a random The Story of Star Wars bonus DVD. And I feel like you can't go wrong with having a bootleg copy of Star Wars The Holiday Special. So this is just a blank disc, basically a DVD-R disc. But I was kind of nervous. I bought this at a flea market. I was kind of nervous when I bought it, you know, hoping that I wasn't getting ripped off. But I popped it in, and sure enough, it is the holiday special. And there's a few like special features and stuff. So yeah, it's just kind of cool to have that within the collection, even though it's terrible. But this is Star Wars: The Clone Wars: A Galaxy Divided. So I think it's just like 4 episodes of the show. And then this is a Star Wars Clone Wars movie with the lenticular slipcover. Then I have the original Star Wars Clone Wars. So this is Volume 1. And then I have Volume 2. And these are just kind of, it's fun to like put them together because I feel like they make a nice, you know, little photo there. And then I have, this is Star Wars Ewok Adventures. So there was like a random, you know, Ewok adventure movie. Well, these are technically 2 movies, but yeah, I have yet to get around to watching these, but I really want to sit down and watch those. And then this is just a DVD version of the animated show that I talked about earlier for the Ewoks and droids. Then I have, this is R2-D2, Beneath the Dome. So it's just kind of like a little, I think a mockumentary on R2-D2. And then I have, this is a bootleg copy of The Mandalorian. This is came out before they released the, what was it, like the newer like 4K discs, like an official release. So I know I talked about not really liking Disney Star Wars, but this is one show that I wouldn't mind watching. I just haven't gotten around to checking it out. So I came across this for $1, and so I have it in my collection. And then this is Star Wars: The Clone Wars: The Lost Missions. And then I have some Lego Star Wars movies. This is The Empire Strikes Out. So just fun Lego Star Wars stuff. And then this is just a triple feature of the 3 movies. And I just have this one on a Blu-ray. So that's all my individual DVD releases. Now jumping into the Blu-ray, I only have 1 Blu-ray box set. I know they made at least 2 different, or maybe 3 different box sets, but in my opinion, this was, you know, this was the nicest version. And this item also like holds a special spot in my heart because a close family friend actually purchased this for me for Christmas one year, and since then he has passed away, and so you know, this kind of holds a special spot in my heart, more of a sentimental spot. But that is Star Wars: The Complete Saga. And so I absolutely love this box. I think it's so like, it's such a well done edition, besides having to like slide the discs in and out. But I mean, just the artwork and everything about it is just, it's so cool. And it also just has so much bonus content. I think there was 3 bonus discs and a booklet. So yeah, this one I will forever hold on to. I mean, both because I absolutely love this set, but also just because of our close family friend that purchased that for me. Now, getting into my Star Wars steelbooks. These I need to get protective cases for these, but for now I just have them loose. But these are just the films on Blu-ray. So Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, which I believe this was actually the first one I bought out of the series. Revenge of the Sith. And even the artwork, I should be pointing out, the artwork on the insides of these, I think, is just absolutely fantastic. So this is, you know, in my opinion, this is how you do a steelbook right, where you put the artwork on the inside as well. So many steelbooks in today's world just makes it like a regular, you know, silver. But this is actually the 4K of Solo, which I kind of wish they had, you know, Solo, a Star Wars story or something on the cover. But it wasn't the greatest film, but I held on to the steelbook. And then this is a Rogue One. I believe this is the 3D Blu-ray, I think. Yeah, this includes the 3D Blu-ray of the film, which I don't have a 3D TV, but it is kind of cool just to have. Maybe if I'll focus. Not focus on the background. There we go. But then we have A New Hope. Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi. And I know I've talked about not liking the Disney Star Wars, but these are the only copies that I kept out of all my different editions of the Disney like sequel trilogy. I have a ton of problems with the sequel trilogy, but yeah, these I talked about that a lot in that last video that I mentioned already. And when I was first, you know, collecting Star Wars, I went out and bought every different artwork variation of these 3 films. I went out and bought the Target, Walmart, and Best Buy exclusives, along with just the regular Blu-ray release. And so I held on to the Best Buy exclusive steelbooks, because I think I like those the most, but this is the Force Awakens. And so I figured I would keep 1 copy, at least in the collection, so if I do choose to watch it, I have at least 1 copy. But Last Jedi, and probably the worst out of all of them, The Rise of Skywalker. But out of all of the different editions of all of the films, I did hold on to a couple of the special editions of Rogue One, where, because I really actually did enjoy Rogue One. So this is just the standard Blu-ray that came out. I think this was the Walmart exclusive Blu-ray, where this slipcover opens up, kind of. And this is the Target exclusive. So I think you can swap out the character in there if I'm not mistaken. But so I mean, it is like kind of cool packaging. But I figured I would only hold on to the ones that I actually really did care about. And I held on to this one as well. This is the Solo, A Star Wars Story 4K, which I wasn't a huge fan of this one, but I figured I would keep that one. But finally, the last little stack of films I have, these are the 4K of the films. I'm missing a couple. I'm missing episodes 1 and 2. So someday I'll get those, but for now, I have Revenge of the Sith, which is honestly one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's because it kind of holds the most value in a way, because it's like the only one I saw in theaters. It came out right when I was really getting into Star Wars, and so it had like, you know, everything, you know, every single store out there had Star Wars stuff. It was all Revenge of the Sith themed. I remember, you know, there was pop labels and chip bags and candy wrappers, and, you know, everything imaginable had Star Wars Revenge of the Sith plastered on it. And so, you know, and back then I was collecting all of that stuff. And so, it just has that like special spot that where it came out at the right perfect time for me. But then I have A New Hope on 4K, and Empire Strikes Back, which I definitely have watched this several times on 4K, and Return of the Jedi. And that is the last edition of Star Wars. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments down below if you wanted to take a look at a closer, or I guess a closer look at anything that I talked about. I know I was kind of going through it quickly, but I didn't want this video to be super, super long. I hope you guys enjoyed just, you know, seeing all the different editions of the films that I have. Again, Star Wars is one of my absolute favorite series, and you know, as much as like there's criticism about the prequels, or not the prequel, the sequel trilogy and everything that Disney's doing wrong and all that stuff, I always just kind of block it out and, you know, just keep remembering that we have episodes 1 through 6, and I will say 1 through 6 because, you know, the prequel trilogy, it can be rough. The dialogue's not super great. But at the end of the day, I feel like it still tells a coherent story, and it's still like a fun, like you can still have fun with them. So I feel like, you know, the CGI might not hold up, but I still enjoy them, and there's still like that nostalgia to it. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I think I've mentioned this in the last, maybe the last video, the last 2 videos, but I made a Linktree. So that's like a new addition to my channel. If you want, you can go check out all my different links on there. And yeah, I think that's everything. But thank you guys again so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys all in the next video, and may the Force be with you.